there, Slot Car Land. How's everybody doing this fine Sunday? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you got to watch everything that we did last week at the Fray. We had a great time. I thought we would do a little recap video, recapping the action and everything that happened. Talk about some things that we picked up, and just about the Fray in general. So we had a great time. We did have some issues. I want to apologize. We had a little trouble on Wednesday with the doing the practice races. We had an issue with the phone. It fell off the holder, and it broke the sensor that holds that we use that senses the mics. And I mean, it obliterated it. So we had to go out to our backup one, which is the one that has a lot of background noise, and I want to apologize for that. But at least we got to commentate on the individual like we wanted to, even though the audio wasn't great. We'll be replacing those here soon. We had a little issue. Elijah had a phone call. We were using his phone all weekend as a hotspot to help us with reception. And he got a phone call, didn't think, ran out of the hall. We lost connection during the individual round. And in the midst of trying to get the phone back up, it fell off the holder, hit the floor, broke the sensor, and that's how it all happened. So, sorry about that. We'll be replacing those so we can have better mics for our races, for the Oregon Cup that's coming up, because we want to commentate on that, and a couple other things coming real soon. So, be on the lookout for that. Outside of that, we did fairly decent on the practice races. They weren't great, but we basically used the practice races as feeling out time for our cars, to get our cars right, to see how our cars stacked up against everybody else's, see how we had to, what we had to do to our cars in with shoe adjustment and whatever, and all of that kind of stuff. So it actually worked out to our benefit to kind of sandbag it a little, not really sandbag it, but just use it as a test and tune session, which is basically what the practice races are for anyways. Thursday was IROC. We ran the trucks again this year. Really cool. We love these things. There's only about 3 other teams that like these. Everybody else hates them. And our record shows it. We finished 4th overall in IROC, which was the best IROC finish we have ever had down there. We were behind the top 3 teams, who were the top 3 teams all the time. We were behind St. Louis, who won it, Wizard, who was 2nd, and South Bay, who was 3rd. We were 4th, so we were the best of the rest. There was 14 teams, and we were better than 10 of them, which is really cool. We had a great time, great showing in the IROC race. Let me put up the finishing order for you here. This is the finishing order from the IROC day. So really cool there. Had a great time with that. Really fun. Individual day they changed some things on us again, which we didn't hear about until the day of, which kind of sucked because we didn't prepare. Last year, it was a 30-second hot lap session, averaged with your finish from your last fray, which would have been last year. We get there, we get qualifying, and find out that it's only the 30-lap hot lap session. So it didn't really affect us in the fact that it put me way further up than what I planned to be. I planned to be in the lower half of the field on individual day. There was 74, 75 guys total. So it was nobody makes the A, so it was B main through X main. The slowest 6 in the X, the fastest 7 in the B, and then 3 on down the line all the way to get to those last 6 guys. I expected to be, so we had X. I expected to be like 2 mains above that, maybe, with my average finishes, because I've not finished very well, just because I haven't had the cars. But I qualified into the M main, which I was not expecting. I raced Shaden's car that I prepared for him for the individual round. It's a really good car. It even got faster while we were down there. We found a couple of little secrets that they were using, and we went to them, and it picked that car up tremendously. So I qualified into the M. Elijah qualified into the J. Shaden qualified into the D. And he was running a Michael Paulus car. Michael did the same thing for Shaden that he did for Elijah in 2020. And then he ended up giving Shaden the car as well, which was really nice. I want to thank Michael Paulus for that. He does builds some really, really sick race cars. As a matter of fact, this is everybody that drove a Paulus car at the Fray this year. So as you can see, it's a lot of people. Shane was the only one that got to keep his car, simply because Michael's been doing this for the young guys like Elijah and Shaden because they're the future of the hobby. So he wants to make sure that they have something to build on through their career in slot car racing, and I really want to thank him for that. Aiden might be the next guy. I can't remember what main Aiden and Stan qualified into. I just know they qualified into the same main. And Aiden made it out. As a matter of fact, Aiden made 3 move-ups in his mains this year. Really good, really cool, calm-headed, was very good at it, very good. When he knew when to push, he knew when that he could back off and not worry about it. Really, really cool. So here is the entire rundown of all of the move-ups and the qualifiers in. I want to thank Ron Schmidt for this, but take a look at this. So really cool. Want to thank Ron Schmidt for doing that and then sharing it with everybody. Very, very cool. So next up was team day. So it says individual day. So Shane qualified into the D. He was the only one of the 3 of us outside of Aiden to make it out of his main. He made it out of the D into the C. He actually won the D, as a matter of fact, and made it into the C. And missed going up to the B by 1 spot. He finished 4th. He screwed up in his last heat. He pushed it a little too hard out of the final corner and deslotted. He gave up, I think, 2 spots, which caused him to lose points and dropped him to 4th overall out of the 6. So he really made him mad, but he finally calmed down and we talked to him about it. It's like, dude, you weren't expecting to be where you're at. You did a very good job of where you were at. And you did, very, very respectable. So it's going to be really cool, hopefully, maybe even next year or the year after, to see both of them, both Elijah and Shaden, make the A, which would be really cool. Shaden would be the youngest to do it if he could pull it off. And I think that would be a really cool thing to see. And I would be a proud papa if that were to happen. And I would be very, very emotional announcing that race if it happened that way. But we'll have to see what happens next year and all that stuff. So Saturday was team day. We wanted to do better. We didn't do as good as we thought we were going to do. IROC Day really pumped us up. We thought we could possibly be 5th, 6th out of the 14 teams. But it actually turned out to be 13 teams because Oregon pulled out. We picked up Daryl Box and Scott, who you guys know from the Fozar group. They came over and raced with us. We picked them up, so we had 7 guys. So we had 2 sit-outs, so we could move people around and fix people per track and all that kind of stuff. But we ended up 3 opposite. We actually ended up with the exact same record as Team Day, just opposite. We had 3 wins and 10 losses. So we learned some things that we're going to take back next year. I think we're going to be a lot better. We're going to work on our controllers. Shaden's set. My controller is probably going to go in. We had a little incident here with the track when Elijah rewired the brakes on it, and he kind of effed it up, and it screwed up my brake dial on my controller. I can only go to about 6. I can't go any higher, or it won't work. And even the closer I get to 7, it sometimes feels intermittent and kind of throws me off. But they're going to go back into the Falco here probably at the end of our season. I'm going to have my brake pod replaced, and I'm going to have a traction control installed where Elijah's going to also do the same thing to his controller and have him refresh and then ship back to us from DeFalco. So we're going to be doing that, and hopefully that'll make a big difference for next year, especially with my driving. Elijah's got a theory that I'm so used to resistor controllers, I have not been using a with the newer controllers for very long, and I have, according to him, a very choppy driving style, which the resistor controllers doesn't affect, but once you switch over to these, it exaggerates your choppiness and it makes the car unsteady. It doesn't do as much for the magnet cars because they have downforce, and the downforce kind of helps with the choppiness of my driving style. And but the Fray cars, it really upsets them. So Elijah seems to think if I can get traction control put on my controller, then it'll really help me out in my driving style. So we'll see how much that's going to cost, and we'll send our controllers in for that upgrade. So, but outside of that, team day was really good. We learned a couple of things. We learned some strategy and some other stuff. But all in all, it was a great weekend. Our cars made big jumps in performance. Like I said, we learned a couple of tricks and trades. We found out that the OS3 motor brushes make a huge difference in these cars. We were running Wizards. We heard a couple of people running OS3, so we went and picked some up. I had one set of my own left. We used those on one car, and it just shot that car up, and it was amazing performance. So we went and bought a bunch more from Norm, came back, put them in a couple other cars, did the same friggin' thing to those cars. So made a vast improvement. We had a great time, and we wished our team day results were a little better, but they'll be a lot better. People can see our improvement, and they've noticed it. Mitch Vader even put in this post that we're an up and coming team, and we improve every year, and he says we're going to be contenders here soon. So that's really, really cool. So didn't really pick up a whole heck of a lot. Of course, Shaden got the polished car. I did buy 2 new bodies from Greg Davis. I bought another Huracan in this beautiful, beautiful purple color. This thing is so cool. I mean, this thing is beautiful. This pearl purple color. This is going to be sweet on a car. Get it mounted. And then the other car I picked up was one that I haven't had yet. I have a Huracan. I have a yellow one that I mounted up on my chassis, one of my chassis here at the Fray. But I also picked up the McLaren MP4. Another really beautiful body by Greg Davis. Greg Davis does some awesome bodies, people. If you ever have a chance to be able to pick one of these up, go ahead and do it because they're really, really cool. They're really well casted. Really well, got some amazing colors with his cars. Very, very cool. You want to check him out? Go to www.gregsgarage.itgo.com. And I'm not sure if he's taking orders right now. I know he had a bunch of bodies at the Fray, and he said prior to the Fray that he wasn't taking any orders, but he was taking orders at the Fray. So I'm not sure if he's still taking orders or not. So you might check out the website, see what it says. And then if you can't, be at the Fray next year, and you'll be able to buy. You only buy 2 bodies a day, but he typically has quite a bit, and he sells almost every day he's down there with the exception of team day. And I think he does it on individual and IROC day too. But he doesn't do it on team day, but you guys can come down and pick it up. The other thing we picked up is something we're going to have to play around with for a while, and then we're going to have to do a video on. And what it is this little bad boy right here. This is by DBL Racing. I think they're from back east. They have quite a bit of products. Got this from RC at Wizard. What this is for tightening and reinstalling the electricals on the bottom of a T-Jet car. So all of that brass that's on the bottom that the pickup shoes hook to and it run all the power to the motor brushes, you can replace all that. RC has that stuff at Wizard. Go check them out. That's wizardho.com. They've got a lot of great Fray parts. They got a lot of good T-Jet parts, and they got a lot of good magnet car parts. So RC will be able to help you out, set you up with what you need. That is wizardho.com. I'm not sure if he's going to have these on the website. He had 30 of them. I'm not sure if he sold them all out or not. I'm not sure what he's charging on the website. We paid $40 for this, but I'm not sure what he would be charging online. if he has them online. But we'll have to play around with this, and then we'll have to do it on a video for you guys and show you how to reinstall the electrical on the bottom of a T-Jet car. So we'll do the whole 9. We'll drill it out. We'll reinstall and do all that in a video here real soon after we've played around with it for a little while. Because I have a lot of T-Jet chassis. I got a lot of T-Jet chassis that need to be gone through and new electrical put on it. There's a couple of really good chassis in here that were really fast cars that ended up with tab issues or a broken tab or whatnot. So we're going to have to go through and clean those up and do that. But so it was a great time. We had great fun. We didn't really pick up anything else other than essential parts. I needed guide pins, pickup shoes, motor brushes, so I picked all of that up. We did... I got one, and I bought another one of RC's wide track front ends. So we're going to have to do a video on that, compare them with the other OS3 front ends and the RTHO front ends. We'll have to do a comparison between those, show you the differences in them and the design and their installation. I will have to warn you, though, if you do buy that and put one of those on the front of your car, it ain't coming off. The retainers on those are very different, and we'll talk about that in the video. But if you want to put a Wizard wide track front end on your car, it's on there to stay, because the retainers on those are very different, and we'll talk about that in the video, and I'll show you why. But very cool. They work great. They worked great on that car, and most everybody down there at the Fray this year either had them or we either bought them or were running them on their car down there. So very cool. So we're gonna close this video out. Let me put up a slew of pictures I have for you guys, some results and everything. These will probably be, I do have the practice races too on picture. So I'll put up the practice races on. They'll start with the Tuesday night practice race, the Wednesday morning practice race. Then there'll be the IROC finish results. There'll be the individual rundown chart, and then there'll be the results from the team day. And there might be a couple other pictures thrown in there from around that I've taken and stuff. So let's take a look. Very cool stuff. I hope you guys saw all the videos. If you haven't, go check them out, especially the walk around that I did on Wednesday. We got to talk to Brad Bowman of Brad's Tracks, bradstracks.com. He's the guy that builds all the tracks at the Fray. He's also the guy that built Stan's track. So go check that out. If you want to know about how we got started making tracks, go check out NorCal Slot Car Scenes interview with him, and then come back and watch that interview with Brad talking about how he got involved and got started making the tracks at the Fray, and what tracks are the newest one, which one's the oldest one, which one of the tracks has been through the most iterations, and how you can actually possibly get Brad to build you a track as well. So go check that video out. We got to talk briefly with RC Lincoln in that video and some of the stuff he had, and then we also got to introduce you to some of the teams around the hall and some of the high hitters in that race. So go check that video out. Check out the IROC day, which isn't a full video, it's just a couple, but it's really cool. The entire individual day is up on the channel. There's only like 8 mains that we did not comment in, so go check out that. Really cool stuff there. And then check out our walk around and some of the coverage of the team day. We watched a couple races on a couple of tracks and had some fun there too. So go check those out as well. So have a great week. Next week we'll be back with another bi-weekly feature car. And then the week after that, I'm not quite sure what we're going to be doing. We'll think of something. We might tinker around and we might work on a few cars. I got a couple of things I need to do to my cars. But be on the lookout for that. And just have a great week. Don't forget to check out the Monday walk around. The Crash of the Week on Thursdays, the Saturday Speed Shot, And then also check out if we have a Tech Tip Tuesday or a Parts Bin Wednesday. So go check those out. And just have a great week. And remember to keep that pin in the slot, wheels on the downside. Keep racing slot cars. And we will catch you guys with the next video next week. I'm out. Bye.